Killing you for conspiracy or helping you? I can't tell. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Legend of the Galactic Heroes. If you couldn't tell, we've recorded 3 episodes now, back to back, or this will be the 3rd one, which is why there hasn't been a notes or board or comment section or anything, as we normally do every 2 episodes, it seems.
Yeah. That's when a lot happened. And the last one, apparently Dusty and, I forgot his name.
Starts with an S.
It's a
C.
complicated name.
H.
They blew up.
O. N. Still not getting there?
No.
K.
Stop
O.
it. I'm not spelling it out.
P.
They blew up.
H. I've completely spelled it for you now.
Yeah, stop doing that.
Why? You could have said that at any time just to say the name.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
You were when you said I can't remember his name.
Yeah, and I still don't. Anyway, after being chased by the Alliance police, or no,
you're just naming the end of the episode at this point. Why don't you talk about the things that happened at the start of the episode?
Well, there's the arrest of.
That's the halfway point of the episode. Why don't you start at the beginning?
Oh, really? Because in the beginning, there's
the whole meeting between the Alliance members that were the ones who also tried Yang. There's the meeting between Lin Kampf and I cannot remember that guy's name, and I know you're not going to be able to pull it
America
up.
steals a couple hundred ships.
Yeah, I'm saying there's a lot of stuff between the middle of the episode, which you're describing as the beginning.
Then the commander, one of the commanders gets hauled off in front of the committee. Like, what happened? It's like, well, these people showed up and we have people who deserted. Okay, that means that they're going to pin it on someone. They pinned it on Yang. They arrest Yang.
I mean, rightly so, though. They rightly pinned it on Yang because that was Yang's plan. It's the message he sent to Meerkats before. He told him to wait.
They had no evidence.
I mean, they kind of did, actually.
Where? What kind of evidence?
The Alliance leaders, the ones that wrote down that there was his plan.
No, they just made it out of. They just were speaking out of that.
Do you remember when Yang sent what's his name, the guy who was going to try and kill him but didn't, ahead and said this is all an Empire plot?
Yeah,
and everyone believed him. Oh man, just desserts, man, just desserts.
I mean, it was, but
it wasn't. The NSMC was not an Imperial plot.
Well, they got riled up by. No, technically they did.
No, what's it? God, I forgot his name now too. I'm doing your thing. I can't remember his name. It starts with an A. The guy from Alpha Seal who's trying to get away.
Yeah.
To his benefit, he said he was going to send reinforcements back, which apparently was the modus operandi of getting help back in the day. So he may have not been abandoning, just trying to go get help. He was supposed to rile everyone up, as you just said. But he was not in charge of the NSMC, and Frederica's dad was not an Imperial ploy. So the NSMC was not an Imperial ploy. Yang was just trying to rile everyone up. So legitimately, he did what's being done against him now, which I don't know. I still call that just desserts.
Why?
Because when your own thing comes around to bite you in the ass, you kind of had it coming. It doesn't matter if you're a good guy or a bad guy. If you do a thing and that thing gets used against you, fair game. Why is it only good when the good guy does it?
Fair enough. He shouldn't have said that without evidence.
I'm not saying that. I'm agreeing with you. It's not great. It's not great, but it is irony, and I love irony.
Yeah. Question is, how is he going to get out of this? I think he's not going to get out of this.
Because they're not going to kill him. I mean, unless, again, that's what I said when he was getting in the car. If this is them stripping him of his plot armor and he doesn't recognize it, they're not going to do anything to me. He said getting into the car, and then later realizing the severity of the situation he was in, as the narrator says.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, I don't know, maybe this is the time. Maybe, like you said, Yang's no longer going to be in the show. Well, maybe this is Yang on his path to no longer being in the show. And I guess Frederica too.
Frederica tries to save him. She gets killed.
I want to preface this for people in the audience listening. This is him suspecting that's going to happen, not his continuing recap of what happened.
Yeah, no, that's my suspicion. But it would not be out of Yang's history that the women in his life die.
It would be out of his history for him dying, though.
No, true. But if he lives and she dies, that will be done.
I don't know how that happens.
He tries to save her.
I mean, she tries to save him.
Yeah.
But I don't know how she dies and he lives. If she dies, I would suspect that she didn't save him, in which case he should still die.
I mean, he could save him, and in the process of saving him, she sacrifices herself for him to live, and she dies. That can happen.
I don't think that falls into the binary number of the binary series of events of possible outcomes that's more probable. You have what the four square of it.
Hmm.
They both
Yeah.
live, they both die. One of them dies, or the other one dies, right?
Hmm.
I think the more probable outcome is both live, both die. So Bonnie and Clyde situation where they both try and get away, they both fail, get shot up, or the opposite where they just both escape. Those seem like the two probable happenings. Then you have the more complicated ones, which have to involve something additional happening that doesn't automatically happen to both. The Occam's razor, the scenario is what happens to one happens to both. It's the more easy to accomplish task. The more complicated, the non-Occam's razor, is
Hmm.
one thing happens to one of them and a different thing happens to another, which it has to involve different moving parts for that to happen. Gets separated, or one gets shot protecting the other one, etc. More complicated scenarios. So
Yeah.
those automatically fall for me to, I mean, this is a narrative, obviously, anything can happen. But, the least complicated of the things to happen. So I'm automatically going to fall onto both live, both die.
So now Yang is under arrest. Uh, and then two of his compatriots were escaping from the police when a bomb goes off and the episode
You,
ends.
you can't present that as fact. We have no idea what happened. I flippantly said, would they plant a bomb on the car? For all we know, they ran into a, side rail, or they got rammed into one, or there's two military trucks behind them, rocket launches them. Anything could have happened.
Yeah, anything could have
Hell,
happened.
in fact, they could have just been going down the road, and an unrelated other terrorist attack is happening down the road, and we saw that explosion. It was meant to misdirect us. And I should also point out, there was the whole conversation between Lennenkamp and Oberstein about the plan, and also Rebel, and I don't know the other guy's name. I don't know if I've ever known the other guy's name, about what to do about the Yang situation, where Oberstein's whole thing is either the anti-Empire forces rise up to try and protect Yang, which is good for them because they then identify themselves. When I say them, I meant the Empire. They identify themselves for the benefit of the Empire, which then can handle them, or they do nothing, and Yang is just in Imperial territory. So really no harm to them either way, versus Rebel, and what's the only thing that we can do to subvert the situation and ensure that the anti-Imperial forces, or the rebels that follow Gang or whatever, don't do any harm to then cause the break of the treaty that we signed with the Empire, and that is to handle Yang ourselves, which keeps the power in our hands and eliminates any threat that might rise to whatever the Imperial plan actually is. So the Alliance's plan, seemingly, is to kill Yang to prevent the Empire's plan from coming to fruition, where the Empire's plan is to let the Alliance do whatever the fuck it's going to do, or just take Yang. No plan really to kill him at the moment. Well, he says Yang's life will be ours to do with as we please, which isn't itself to kill him. I could see Oberstein using Yang as a figurehead for something. Oberstein likes to use things. He doesn't like to automatically eliminate things that could be of aid to him. Plus, as he says in his conversation to Lennenkamp, do you want to tell Reinhard that you want to kill Yang and see what he says about that? Which implies a knowledge that Reinhard would not want to kill Yang. Not in that way, anyway. So, Oberstein's not going to do that.
But if he dies, he dies.
Yeah, but he could blame somebody else for that because it would be somebody else's fault. If Lennenkamp gets Yang killed, it'll be Lennenkamp's fault. If Yang dies in transport, it'll be whoever the fleet was transporting him is fault. Oberstein's not going to kill him because there's no benefit to killing him. To get Reinhardt's ire for a thing that Oberstein does, there has to be a greater cause for it, like the nuke attack. That was to a greater benefit to Reinhardt and the empire that they're trying to build. Just randomly killing Yang serves no purpose. Look, I know you disagree with me on the whole nuke thing, but you can see what purpose it served.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no purpose in killing Yang. It doesn't do anything. Like, using him to rile out to lure out the anti-Imperial forces, that is a purpose. Failing that, killing him doesn't do anything but to galvanize the forces while they're still in hiding, which is no good for you. So, it's better to keep him around. I would think my only possibility I can think of here is if you were to keep Yang alive, use what resources you have to keep trying to sway him to your side. I mean, probably not going to happen, but if it did,
I doubt it.
I mean,
I doubt
that's
that
like what I just said. It's probably not going to happen. But I mean, what else are you going to do with him?
House arrest.
Yeah,
Rest
but
of
I
his
mean,
life?
I'm saying what else? Like, while he's under house arrest, you can keep trying to sway him. If you're not doing anything else with your time, what's the point of not doing anything? Or I mean, what's the point of not doing anything? Even if it's not going to work, if you think there's any minuscule opportunity, I guess that's what's his name? Lars? It's a Lars job? Thought police guy?
Yeah. He would certainly kill him.
I mean, that might be Oberstein's plan to deal with Lars, if I'm saying his name right. Oberstein's plan was to eliminate the elements within the Imperial side that were still anti-Reinhardt by using the former thought police guy, because that was his expertise. Now, he previously also said, I mean, previously as in recently previously, not previously back then, that if anyone was going to take the fall for a fuck-up with Yang, it should be the Bureau of Internal Safety and Security, which is run by Lars, which means that he's already... I'm sorry, that was Ruhenthal. Is Ruhenthal on the same page as Oberstein? I obviously doubt it.
Yeah.
But I have to think
I would see
would be a
Ruhenthal
sentiment.
killing Oberstein, that's for sure.
Nah.
He doesn't trust him.
Ruhenthal is good enough to stop somebody with a knife. Oberstein has a Dalmatian.
That shits itself.
And also, Oberstein's good at long-term planning. Ruhenthal thinks about everything in the moment. Remember, it was Ruhenthal and Mittermeier that showed up to help save Anna Rose from the kidnapping. Yeah. Oberstein clearly had some planning involved, that he showed up after the fact without really knowing anything, shut the lights off, did all this other... They just rushed into the room. I think if Ruhenthal tried to take on Oberstein, Ruhenthal would be a rushing in kind of guy again, and be fucking puppet master with Oberstein.
Yeah.
He would not only, I think, subdue Ruhenthal by the use of outside forces, knew that Ruhenthal was coming, plotted some sort of crime that Ruhenthal would stumble into in his effort to then take out Oberstein, that he would ruin Ruhenthal. Granted, then that might make Mittermeier against Oberstein, in which case, as much as I love Oberstein, I think I'm more a Mittermeier guy in that respect. Mittermeier is just a genuinely enjoyable guy with a good family, and Oberstein, I don't know. The element is what would I, at that point, it's not a who do I like more. I think I like those two maybe equally. It's who would I want to see going into the future. Oberstein would be really interesting, but Mittermeier would be a happy ending. That's a rough call. I know it's not a rough call for most people. I think most people would be Mittermeier 100%. But for me, I think
we get a happy ending? We don't know because we're in episode 61 out of 100 and something. So
no, I'm not talking about in the show. I mean, happy ending, but like between the two. Mittermeier's got a happy home life, a wife that seems genuinely interesting and fun to be with. He's got a social life. He's generally a cheerful person. He's like almost like, without the womanizing, he's the Poplin of the Empire.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you get to watch Oberstein sit at home and eat dinner alone and then feed his dog.
Yeah.
Like I said, generally, what's the outcome?
Well, he has a manservant, but butler, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, but I think the point of having a dog is enjoying the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be him doing the stuff. I don't know what that guy does other than give him messages and whatnot.
Yeah. So that was it. Shall we get into this episode?
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Again, with the intro, I'll talk about intros. Because
Brave Shine, Fate Space Day
no,
Night,
we talked about when it that's another thing, has different intros.
That's the best one I could think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, Metal Armor Dragonar also has a change of intro around episode 20 something. The thing is, the intro, I guess it's kind of similar to this, right? They're in the future, kind of, because I don't want to spoil too much, but
check me out on Wednesdays and Fridays at Lesson Learned 1 at twitch.com.
Yes. Twitch.tv, actually. You twitch.com, you'll end up somewhere else.
At Justin TV, check me out.
Yeah. They were in a place in the original intro that they didn't arrive in like episode 12 or 15 or 16. So they were like, oh, this is happening in the future, right? And then now, they're in a place where they're not right now, which I guess there will be 10 to 15 episodes in the future.
I mean, I told you about the Yamato opening, which is in the second season, the same song as the first one. And the problem is, it's a song made specifically for the first season. So it's a song in the second season that describes the events of what they will do in the first one, as though it hasn't happened yet, because that's the lyrics of the song.
So Highness.
新帝国歴1年7月22日、逮捕されたヤン・ウェンリーは検察庁に拘置されたまま夜を迎えていた。ここに来て、事態は彼が予測したよりはるかに悪化していることを悟らざるを得ず、自分自身の予測の甘さに忸怩たる思いを抱いている。
I was hoping that they were giving him coffee, because he hates coffee. It would just be ironic for him to like, oh, things are worse than I thought. Rebello, we're going to kill you.
こんな場所で君に会うと誠に残念だ、ヤン元帥。
恐縮ですが、私がお招きしたわけではありません。
確かにそうだ。座っていいかね。
Guess I don't even get you my last meal in peace.
君が反和平活動防止法に違反し、さらには国家の存立に危険を及ぼそうとしていると帝国の高等弁務官府では主張している。
Which again, technically he did,
そうお考えですか?
just before it existed.
わからない。私は君に否定してもらいたいと思っている。
否定すれば信じてくださるわけですか?
Oh no, we got different plans.
ずっと君を信じてきた。だが感情だけで、いや、私と君の一対一の関係だけで事態を処理するわけにはいかないのだ。国家の存立と安全は個人レベルの道徳で測れるような問題ではない。
My argument to you all the time.
議長、あなたは以前から良心的な政治家と言われておいでですし、実際にいくつかの行動でそれを証明していらっしゃる。そのあなたにして国家のために個人の人権が犠牲になるのは当然だと。
I mean, the nation is its people. So yes, an individual's rights should be sacrificed for the greater good of the people.
こうは思わないかね。
It's insane the way you phrase things sometimes, Yang.
崇高なものは自己犠牲だ。君はこれまで実によく国家のために献身し、
Also commit suicide?
I guess that's also a solution. I believe one of Black Sabbath's greatest hits too.
私は今まで別に崇高な生き方をしたいと思って生きてきたわけじゃありません。それに人間の行為の中で自己犠牲が最も崇高な行為だとおっしゃるなら、他人を犠牲にして自己の保身を図るのは最も下劣な行為ではないのですか?
I mean, again, for the greater good.
Is it the greater good, though?
It's the greater good of more people than one. Spock would have a good thing to say about this, I feel like. I mean, it would be an insane fucking way for Yang's story to end. And then he killed himself. I mean, I also just didn't anticipate Rebello just coming here and asking him to do it.
強大な敵と戦って一度も敗北せず、たびたび国家の危機を救い、民主主義の死滅を回避し続けてきた。東大と後世の人々は君に惜しみなく敬意を払うだろう。
やれやれ、議長は私の母姫を読んでいるのか。
Yeah, he is.
I mean, you're also the guy that said you'd be happy if, like, 2 generations didn't know what war was. Sacrificing for that is your own literal thing. So you better do whatever you're gonna do before she does whatever she's gonna do. I like that they added the effect of putting up the little warning lights so aircraft don't crash into the ruins. What, still rooms working in this place?
Yeah, remember the underground still worked.
No, didn't. They weren't. That's not the place. That's not the place that they were at. A different place got. No, it wasn't Lessons.
Yeah.
They were in a different place. That's how they were watching it on the screen. You don't think they would have been like, ah, it's shaking.
失敗。シェーンコップ中将は白兵戦技の達人だ。アッテンボロー中将もその心得は十分にあるだろう。だがたった2人ではないか。機関には武装陸戦隊を2個中隊与えてあったはずだぞ。
2人ではなかったのです。ローゼンリッター連隊の兵士どもが突然現れて我々に襲いかかり、
Oh,
彼
okay.
らを逃がしたのです。第8ハイウェイは炎上した車や
Okay. As I said, it was a fake out. We were clearly meant to think that they died and wait till next episode.
ローゼンリッター連隊の全員が彼らに加担したという。
Yeah, why wouldn't they be?
バーミリオン海戦の後、人員の補充はなされておりませんが、それでもなお1000名。
See, this was a good reason not to watch the next time on.
Yeah.
I imagine it like spoiled that immediately.
ローゼンリッター一個連隊の戦闘力は一個師団に匹敵する。
I don't know if that's true. We've seen them fight before. They lose just as much as anybody else does.
Yeah, but they've recruited more people.
I'm just saying the battle record of the Rosenbetter. But we had a whole, was it like 16 episode arc of them.
Did he lie though?
I don't know. I'm kind of expecting it. No, I guess not. I was like, are they like in the ambulance or something?
ローゼンリッター連隊が帝国からの亡命者の指定で構成された部隊である以上、同盟が帝国に膝を屈した今となっては、その存続が
Yeah, I guess, fair enough.
可能性は低く、
Could they hope to do it in Empire-controlled alliance?
その不安が彼らの気色を自ら
They're the Wolverines of the situation.
Yep.
本当に手ぶらでいいんですか？何か取りに戻られるんなら何個招待か咲きますが。
俺にはこれさえあればいい。他のものは後で調達するさ。
何ですかそのノートは？
まあ日記みたいな。
Is it the secret book that Ulrich had?
面白い時代に生まれたからにはいずれ回想録でも執筆して。
Oh no,
No, I
okay.
don't think so. No.
I keep waiting for that book to come back.
Yeah.
Ulrich had it. It was Ulrich, wasn't it? Was it somebody else?
確かにいつ滅びるかもしれない国家の年金を当てにするよりは気が利いていますな。
Also, what good would it do anymore either? Grimmelshausen's Book of Secrets, I can only imagine would have worked against the nobles of the Empire. Who's left that would work against?
美しい花は独占していいものではないさ。
あら、ありがとうございます。でも私は独占されたいと思っているんですけど。
少佐のその荷物は？
あの人の軍服です。
A suitcase of guns. Oh, sorry, a briefcase of guns. Had to look at both of my arms to realize that. I mean, again, this is what the Empire wants. Literally, it's the anti-imperial forces gotten together and they're gonna go try and free Yang. Sorry, it was the Three Stooges. To go for the eye poke. Legitimately, the Imperial military might suspect something because of the media blackout.
Oh, yeah. I gave you the idea, but I didn't tell you to do it.
I mean, to be fair, he was pointing a finger, too, so... Your plan failed. My plan. Yeah, I think you're fucked either way. They're gonna go and try and take Yang. Finger's gonna get pointed at you. This has already happened. I don't think there's enough forces on the planet to, like, help you right now.
Yeah.
Not unless the Rosenritter takes you with Yang.
I doubt it.
What'd you say?
Or
what did
I
you
guess
say,
not.
Alexis? Or they're gonna kill him. Did that rocket bounce off the ground?
Apparently.
Killing you for conspiracy or helping you? I can't tell. Okay, clearly you think they're gonna kill you, so yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this driver sucks. Who are you?
君の有名は常々耳に親しんでいる。それは恐縮の極みですな。なぜこのような暴挙に出たのだ。お言葉ですが、暴挙とはあなた方のなさりようでしょう。私たちのことは置いても、ヤン・ウェンリーへの愚痴方が公明正大であったと胸を張っておっしゃることはできますかな。言いづらいことだが、国家の存亡は一個人の権利というレベルで語りうるものではない。一個人の人権を守るために国家の総力を挙げるのが民主国というものでしょう。ましてや、ヤン・ウェンリーが
I don't know, let's go ask Job what he thinks about that. The guy you elected multiple times.
心が痛みを覚えないとでも思っているのか。非道は承知している。承知の上で私は国家の生存を取らざるを得んのだ。なるほど。あなたは良心的でいられる範囲では良心的な政治家だ。
If he didn't have a person like Rebello here, there would be no democratic nation for you to say is being run poorly.
手足を切り取るのは確かに痛いでしょう。ですが、切り捨てられた手足から見れば、結局のところどんな涙も自己陶酔に過ぎませんよ。自分は国のために市場を殺して筋を通した。自分はなんとかわいそうで、しかも立派な男なんだ。
Again, I get both points. It's just the element that you have. There's no consideration for Rebello's position, I think, in this argument.
いくらでも嬉し涙が出ようってものでしょうな。
He's literally driving to Lennonkampf's place right now. Clearly not trying to save himself.
君はこれから何をしようとしているのだ。何？ごく常識的なことです。ヤン・ウェンリーという男には悲劇の英雄などという役柄は似合わない。
Oh, he's gonna take the fall.
シナリオの変更を要求したいわけですよ。
I don't think so. I think she's gonna save Yang, the point. Because also, why would you take Rebello hostage if you're gonna take the fall for something? I think they're falling into the trap of the Empire.
Remember, he said, let's play the role of the rebel that they want us to play.
Well, he also said... Fuck, now I can't remember. The role of a tragic hero doesn't befit Yang.
No.
I mean, I just don't get how this is going to be helpful. I mean, I get... If you think that Yang is the end-all be-all of this part of the story, then sure. But Rebello's point is the stronger point, in my opinion.
こちらは不定にして凶悪な反乱部隊だ。統合作戦本部長ロックウェル大将閣下に誠意と礼節をもって凶悪の文言を申し上げる。心してお聞きあれ。
Those are massive keyboard keys.
Yeah.
緑に舌を動かすな、造反者めが。腹話術の心得がないのでね、舌を動かすのはやむを得ざるところだ。凶悪の内容を話していいかね。我々は尊敬すべき同盟元首ジョアン・レベロ閣下を素敵な牢獄にご招待して。
Maybe you should have said that before the whole demands thing, because it didn't make any sense the other way around.
天国にご避難いただき、我々自身は自暴自棄の挙句、同盟軍の名のもとに帝国軍に突入し、市民を巻き添えにした華々しい市街戦を展開することになるだろう。貴様、自分たちが助かるために、向こうの市民を戦火に巻き込もうというのか。
たたちこそ自分たちが助かるために向こうの人間を殺害しようとしているはずだ。
He's not innocent, though. I also argue that the point against Rebello is the point that he didn't just say lay down his life instead of being taken captive.
Yeah.
The element that if he was willing to sacrifice Yang, he should have been willing to sacrifice himself. But again, he was driving to Linnenkamp's place, which is also kind of sacrificing himself too. Different degrees, I guess. Also, his keyboard has like, what, 10 keys? 12 keys? I'm not counting them, but...
Yeah.
早まるな。可及的速やかに返答する。交渉はあくまで同盟政府および軍部と行え。あ、いや、行ってほしい。
What if they didn't play your bluff? What if they did, like, go right to the Imperial military? You would have fucked the entire planet.
売国奴名、非国民名。だから奴のような帝国からの亡命者などを信用してはいけなかったのだ。シェーンコップンメルカッツ、そしてそれを徴用してきたヤン・ウェンリー。仮にヤンの身柄を奴らに渡したら、間違いなく反帝国の軍事行動に出るだろう。やはりここは最初の方針通り。
Yeah, it's kind of a lose-lose no matter what.
始末してしまうべきだ。その上で奴らが暴発しても、ロゼンリッター一個連隊だけなら。
But you can't suppress them without the Empire finding out, is the problem. Someone's gonna wake up in the morning like, what were all those fires on the road about?
Oh, he's willing to kill the chairman.
Like I said, if you believe in the cause of eliminating one person for the safety of all, the chairman should kind of be about that. Oh, you're just an asshole. You're just inviting the Empire to crack down on Heinesen at that point. Hey, it's the guy from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I believe he was the teacher's husband.
議長はなぜお見えにならぬ。我ら軍服を着た野蛮人との同席を潔しとされぬゆえかな。 いえ、すでに評議会ビルを取ってこちらへ向かっているはずなのですが。
I'm just saying the entire alliance is trying to prevent the Empire from cracking down and destroying the remains of the Heinesen government through the treaty that they made. So Shunkov just saying, "Oh, we sent the message," or the other guy we sent the message to the Imperials. They're destroying democracy themselves.
Are they though?
Yeah, they're destroying the current alliance government, which is the only remaining establishment of democracy, by taking matters into their own hands, which, by the way, they're not democratically elected, but choosing to make those decisions for the entire government. She is made up of democratically elected people. But again, it follows Shunkamp's beliefs, because he was the one who was telling Yang to disregard the democratically elected government to do what he wanted.
もし事態が我々の処理能力を超える時には東方より出動を依頼する。その時までお待ち願いたい。
では同盟政府の最高責任者たる評議会議長閣下に直接交渉したい。議長閣下はいずこにおられるか。
You slipped and fell in the shower. Swear.
Yeah.
火を煽っているな、シェーンコップあたりが。騒動好きなやつが多いからな。
That's Ractus?
Is he gonna bring the gun?
お、夜食会？サービスがいいね。
No, I think they're luring him out to a place with the same as Rebello. Nope, never mind. I thought they were gonna do one bullet, 2 shots, whatever.
そうだね。ぜひ宇宙歴870年ものの白ワインを飲んでから死にたい。
I'd like 10 steps closer to the door, please.
そもそもなぜ私が死ななければならないんだ。
あなたが生きておいでの限り同盟のアキレス腱となるのです。祖国のため神命をお捧げください。
Guys, if you've never watched a movie in your life, don't lower the gun.
Yeah.
アキレス腱だって大切な体の一部だよ。差別は良くない。
やん提督、無駄口はやめてどうか潔くご西郷を。名声に恥じぬ死に方をなさいますよう。不詳ながら召喚が力をお貸しします。
You know, I'd feel more respect if you were like grinning from ear to ear while you're doing it. Or getting off to it, apparently, too.
Yeah. Oh.
見苦しいですぞ、閣下。それでもミラクルヤンと呼ばれるお方です。
Also, this isn't a one-shot gun.
今度こそ覚悟を。
To be fair, they made this guy creepy as fuck. So he was getting off on the idea of killing Yang. It's weird.
Yeah.
Now for the cool scene next episode, I brought your uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there. We don't need this.
Well, this is the death flag for her.
Like I said, I have to believe what happens to one is going to happen to both. And as clever as all this is, the Empire really going to sit on their hands? At the same time, this is a lot of main characters at once.
一応持っていてください。侵入するのは楽だったんですが、脱出は強行突破になるかもしれませんから。
人質交換の交渉中に、まさか実力であなたが奪い返されるとは思わないでしょう。おかげでここの警備や手薄だったんですがね、帰りはそうもいかんでしょう。
人質交換。
もっとも奴らはこちらの人。
I mean, I guess the masterstroke here is negotiating with the Empire to not do anything. Because this is clearly what they needed to crack down on Heinesen in the first place and dissolve the alliance.
They do have a reputation.
All right, you guys stay over there while I write my will. You just stay put.
Put a helmet on, though, just in case. Just in case.
7月22日、ヤン・ウェンリーの逮捕に始まる一連の混乱は収拾の見込みもつかないまま翌日へと持ち越されようとしていた。
I mean, it is a grenadier force that the Empire has mustered, which is a great force to fight against a bunch of melee dudes.
Well, the thing that could happen now is that when the fleet that's going to Terra fails,
you're assuming it fails.
If it does,
and also Terra is somewhere in the Empire. I think we saw it was like north of, because it has to be close to Cirrus.
Yeah.
So northwest of Odin. So even if it fails at Terra, it's going to be a long time to get to Heinesen.
No, I'm not talking about that. It's just that now Reinhard has to deal with two situations at the same time, right? Yang being free somewhere.
I mean, I don't know how they're going to get him off of Heinesen.
It is a planet. They could hide him, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the element of how do we incorporate him into the plot with the ships? Because his only real ability to run is going to be getting off of Heinesen. Otherwise, you hide him on Heinesen, the Empire can do whatever the fuck they want to the citizens of Heinesen to threaten Yang to get out. How many people do they have to kill before Yang says that's too many people? I've got to let myself be captured before more people get killed.
But this is supposed to be a better empire that doesn't do that kind of shit?
Lessons, be realistic. This is them.
So
this is the Alliance's fault. Also, this is Schoenkampf's fault. That's my problem with the situation. Schoenkampf is being a tyrant in defense of democracy. He's not elected. The elected officials are trying to deal with the Empire. He's forcing the hand of the Alliance elected officials and kidnapping an elected official in defense of democracy.
Yeah.
The democracy, hold on, I'm going to have to pause here real quick in a second because I let the thing run its course, as I always do. There we go, pause. He's basically saying, democracy, do what I, an unelected individual, tells you to do, or I am going to shoot this man. Like, I don't know what his plan is with Rebello. Sacrifice, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to sacrifice Rebello.
That's the point that I agree with Yang more than this, because Yang is like, the democratic leaders surrendered. I have to do what they say because I believe in democracy, even to its failings. That's why I followed the instructions of Job, even though I knew how horrible a person Job was, because Job, as bad as he is, represents the ideals and wishes of the billions of people that voted for him. Versus, who am I to subvert the will of the people?
Unless Yang actually does surrender directly to the Empire.
I don't know. The thing says there's no resolution in sight. I'm talking about the future. I'm saying, I'm not arguing about what might happen, or I'm not discussing it. My thought process right here isn't discussing what might happen. It's I don't like the element of Schoenkampf. I feel like they're presenting him as the hero right now because he's saving the other hero.
Yeah.
But the other hero also got into a conversation about the benefits of the democracy over a dictatorship. And that's not being expressed when you subvert the will of the people by kidnapping the elected officials and then forcing the hand of other elected officials because you know better than the people elected to those positions. Now, the element again is the defense of the democracy is the good and the bad. Yang defends the bad of the democracy along with the good, which is why he won't serve in a dictatorship or be a dictator himself. I don't know how you can follow that train of thought and then follow that everything that Schoenkampf just did.
Yeah, that's true.
And again,
I mean, it's a coup d'etat, basically. He's
again, Rebello was going to the opera to be with Lennenkampf because he was invited, knowing that all this information was going to be in Lennenkampf's disposal. So basically, he was walking into the lion's den. That's kind of a sacrifice. Now, the element is that if he really believed in sacrificing the individual for the greater good, he would have let himself be killed or whatever before they captured him. But I don't believe that is an expected human thing to do. You can have a belief, but then when your own life is threatened. Again, that's why I keep putting Oberstein on the platform on this one. The dude believes in a thing and then jumped in front of a rocket launcher. That dude put himself into the position to be killed because he believes in his beliefs. Rebello, dude's actually holding a rocket launcher. Literally, same position. What are you guys doing? Get me out of here. Oberstein, higher up on this, and then Rebello is.
Yeah, I have my thoughts on Oberstein, but...
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm explained my thought process about the sacrifice of the individual for the cause, if you really believe in the cause, and Oberstein was willing to throw his life away to protect Reinhard from a rocket launcher. Rebello, not equally willing to throw his life away for the protection of democracy.
Well, would his death actually have protected democracy?
It would have prevented them from taking him hostage to then be a pawn in their negotiations, which then got recorded and then sent to the Imperial. A whole sequence of events takes place because he gets captured. Now, if he had died, he wouldn't be able to... I mean, I don't know. There's the element of how much can you lie, right? Oh, Rebello died on the fucking street. We're going to do the same conversation anyway. We're just going to lie and say we had him. And then the situation is, did they ever ask for any proof? No, apparently not. So it would have played out well. But then in the comedy version of this, they would have asked for proof of life.
Yeah.
You know, Weekend at Bernie's. Wait a second, that newspaper's dated last year. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, it's the thing. I know, maybe I'm just looking for like flaws in the heroes all the time because they're the heroes and typically they don't get shown flaws that often. Versus the bad guys get shown flaws all the time. So I tend to have to defend the villains more.
If this doesn't go immediately into another battle, so screw the time skip that we keep talking about.
Oh, I know it was ever going to be. No, I didn't. I want to just clarify real quick. I never said there was going to be a time skip. The 5 years later thing, I said that the 5-year time span between now and then was going to take place between political maneuverings, which is why I thought we were being introduced to the whole cabinet of officials.
Yeah.
That we were going to deal with interpersonal conflict, a Game of Thrones style maneuver of people around a certain goal or whatever. And then we would get back to battles or whatnot, so that we would weed out people who aren't good at both, which is then my concern about Oberstein, as per the note section. I don't think we're ever going to time skip more than, say, a couple of months.
In which case, we are going to get into a battle, which I know that they say, oh, the black flag did the thing, but I don't think that Yang is in the same position. And he doesn't even have the support of his own government, so...
Well, we don't need it, apparently. Apparently, we got a bunch of independent actors that are pro-him, that are willing to do what it takes. The element here, if there's going to be a black flag-style operation, it's clearly going to be meerkats rushing to Heinesen to extricate Gang from the situation, if that's to happen. And it seems like, for the previous thing from Lindenkopf, where he said, no, I don't need that many forces, that he has a very small force here on Heinesen. It could be the NSMC thing again, where they just don't have the forces to put down an entire uprising. But then again, maybe he did the same thing with the ships, and he doesn't have that many ships in orbit. So this tiny little 1,000-ship fleet is going to be more than enough to, I think Reinhard even called it we're going to tax them for the amount of ships that we keep in orbit to protect them or whatever. It's going to be a small little fleet, which is going to be the window enough to rush in, defeat them, get Yang off planet, and then back to Sherwood Forest or wherever the hell he would go, or stay mobile the whole time. I mean, that's the only way I can see it going, but again, subversion of the people. But then again, I guess the argument that I'm anticipating, because you know how I like to argue both points, and I have to anticipate what the argument's going to be. Not always right, but the argument going to be that the alliance government is going to be a government in, not exile, what's the word here? The Vichy government.
Yeah.
It's going to be a government not representative of the people, but I don't think that's true.
An imperial power, basically.
Well, it's not, though. That's the element. Is that they're
an occupied
they're an occupied government, but they're the legitimate government, because one that's made up of the elected people from before the occupation, and the occupation is, what would you call it? Not administrative isn't the right word. Advisory. It's an advisory government, because the administration has laid out the rules of what the alliance government can and can't do based on the agreement that the alliance made to them, and will only intervene if they break the rules of that agreement, which is why the alliance is tiptoeing around the things that they don't want to happen, because those things will break those rules.
Mm-hmm.
And those rules aren't themselves entirely anti-democratic. It's the alliance is enacting rules that are slightly anti-democratic or anti-freedom. I don't know what the word that we use there is. In that they're trying to avoid actions which will then break the rules that were set around them. Things that will inspire the populace to rise up against the Imperials, which would then break the non-aggression rule that would then allow the Imperials to crack down on them. So, is enacting laws that reduce the amount of freedom in a democracy to prevent the absolute loss of freedom in a democracy anti-democratic?
That's the question, because if you suppress freedoms up to a point where, it's like the rebellion, like the MSC. Oh yeah, we're going to protect democracy by cracking down on people, destroying the social, welfare net, and putting all the money into defense. At some point, people are like, well,
yeah, but there was no argument is that the NSMC anti-democratic. They were. They just were.
Yeah.
The argument herein is that the Empire, or the Empire advisory force that can turn into the Empire occupation force, is imposing.
I think it's an occupation force in all but name.
No, it's not, because there's not enough of them. That's why they're only they're only able to defend one building, because Lindenkopf decided, no, don't have this many people. And hold on, let me finish the thought first, because I'm losing it already. The Imperial, I'm calling them advisory now, we can argue it later, force is saying these are the rules you have to obey because we want to prevent conflict in our occupation of the planet, right? And the alliance government is saying, okay, we have to restrict these freedoms to ensure that the threat of breaking those rules doesn't happen. If you get to 49% of the freedoms that you once had are taken away, but you still have 51% of those freedoms, and democratic rule is still in favor, you can still vote and everything like that. Is that enough to still be a democracy? If you reach the 50% point, your 50%, your freedoms are withheld. 50%, the old freedoms that you had are still there. Is that still democracy? Is 50-50 still democracy? What happens when you reach 49-51? The math wasn't throwing me. Which side I'm saying these things were throwing me. How far over the line, or is 49-51 too close to the line to still be a democracy?
It's just that with every decision, you get closer and closer and closer.
Right. But the idea is that every decision you make is also protecting the democracy.
By destroying it. It becomes a situation
It's protecting it by removing the things that would cause the one factor that would remove it absolutely.
It can easily become, and I think this is what they're trying to say, whether they're saying it well or not, you're burning the village in order to save it kind of scenario.
I mean, that's what you do to a farm. Slash and burn agriculture. You burn the crops to the ground to make them better in the next cycle.
But would it make it better?
Yeah, I mean, well, it doesn't. Literally, agriculture. You enrich the soil with the.
Yeah, but not necessarily here.
I mean, it depends. I mean, the problem is it's metaphor, right? It depends on how you take the metaphor. You burn down the old cycle, which is to say the old democratic system, which gave rise to like people like Job and everything. You burn that to the ground to create a new one with a new generation of people, which will have new idealism that the old generation was. What do you call it? The thing I keep saying I am with anime. For some reason, jeweled is the wrong word. Something like jeweled?
Jewel?
Jeweled is the word like jeweled, not like meaning-wise, but it sounds like when you are... God, every word is escaping my head now. When you are too experienced in a medium and you become cynical to everything. I mean, cynical word too, I guess. No, not entrenched would be a different thing. That'd be you defending a form of a thing that you were just too entrenched with.
Yeah, but I think even there, even if you are burning...
anyway, the old cycle, old people and the old system of government is too cynical and everything like that, and it's too entrenched. We'll use that word too again. And you burn it down, and you give rise to a new system of democracy with a new generation of idealist people that have experienced the old thing. You burn it to the ground. And because the old system has failed you, and it's only holding you back now by restricting your freedoms in defense of a different thing.
But that then leads to the fact that the Empire is still there, because if the Empire had retreated, it's like, okay, we're going to be on our side of the galaxy, you're going to be on your guys' side of the galaxy, and you do whatever you want.
Remember, this was just a metaphor. I don't remember how we got to slash and burn agriculture. I'm saying if this was just, it depends. You said, would that work? And I said, it depends on how you're taking the metaphor, and I was trying to form the metaphor into a way that would work. I think it does work. I think it's literally what we're going for.
They don't have the freedom. Literally, that's the problem. They don't have the freedom to do that because
I mean the idea that Shoncomp is destroying the current democracy by doing all of this. He's forcing the hand of the Empire to make sure that nobody has that freedom anymore, that they have to fight for it. I think that has to be his point, because otherwise he's horrible.
Yeah. Well, in that case, but they would have to liberate themselves from the Empire, which I doubt is going to happen.
They're going to have to anyway.
Because Reinhard's not going to permit it. Because Reinhard wants to...
Well, he might. He wants the final fight with Yang. He wants the final fight. He wants the final confrontation. He's not satisfied with how things went down.
Okay, so what happens after he defeats Yang? He wants to destroy the Alliance.
Listen, do I look like a dog that knows what to do when it gets in the car? I'm just telling you. You said Reinhardt won't allow it. Right now, if you contacted Reinhardt and told him what was happening,
wouldn't
you think that Reinhardt's first thought was, oh, I might get a second chance? I was unsatisfied. I had to be saved. Now is an opportunity. I can encounter. I don't think there's a world where Reinhardt doesn't go out with 1,000 ships of his own.
Yeah.
I'll fight him on even terms like I did last time. And now I'll prove to everyone who saw me fail last time that I am the undefeated that Siegfried thought I was going to be. I'm saying, you say Reinhardt wouldn't allow it. I cannot see a world in which Yang's name doesn't get invoked that Reinhardt wouldn't just let it happen. Plus, Lennekamp was made to fail.
Yeah, either way. So there you have it. Weighty issue. Much better than what I watched on Friday, that's for sure. So yeah, there you have it.
All right. Well, I guess all that said, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?